Yo, today I'm going to run you through my efficiency of the pullback scenario so you can use it in your trading. Before we do this, you're going to need a few things. The few things you're going to need is understand the cycle that I'm going to explain. Price is coded. Because it's coded, it moves in a cycle, right? When I say it's coded, it doesn't mean I don't know who coded it. I don't care what ICT says. I just know that it's coded because the cycle repeats itself for price to deliver. You have to believe in that. And then two, you have to believe in key windows and sessions, right? Time plays a big factor in when you're going to trade or when you're going to use these scenarios. And then that's pretty much it. I don't know how many things I said that you'll need, but let's get into it. So the efficiency of the pullback, right? Part of my scenarios. We'll get into this, but this is a live Intel drop. So obviously today I woke up, I missed the trade and I thought, let me see what I can learn from today. And obviously efficiency of the pullback was present. So let me run you through how, what the efficiency of the pullback is, of course, how to identify it, and then how to use it, and then of course, you go in to use it. But anyway, let me get into it. So let's quickly start with the cycle. The cycle that I'm talking about is essentially this cycle here. Price moves like this. This is how price is coded. You have to understand this. When you understand this, it gives you belief to enter at these points. When you don't understand this and you think price is random, you'll be scared to enter a trade here to come down to here. You'll be scared to enter a trade here to go up here. Just believe in this. Even if you think it's not coded, just think it's coded, and this is how price moves. Cool. We take liquidity and then we make a main push, breaking structure. After that, this is, in fact, when this is done, this is the market showing its hand. It's showing you what the market wants to do. It's showing people what the market wants to do. So when the market starts coming down, everyone's seeing it as we're bullish, right? So they're buying here, buying here, buying here, buying here. But remember, the zones which matter is the 50%, below the 50% discount. This is where we want to buy, right? So if anything, if price keeps going up and up, like let's say it comes down and goes up, comes down and goes up, we know that if we haven't reached the 50%, we might carry on doing that until we reach there. But the 50% is not enough. The 50% is just a zone for you to just view, right? And view things below that. So now below that would be obviously the extreme, and then you have the decisional, right? Which should be below the 50%. So now cool. I'm going to remove this, right? When you open your charts, you can be any point here. This point here is the mitigation that people are buying from this main move that the market has shown them. So here is basically, this is the market. This is smart money. This is retail, right? And then the cycle is done. So smart money shows you the direction, retail buy, and then remember, they're trying to replicate what the smart money have done with the smart money. So when we get here, the cycle is done, because remember, the belief is done. So now here they can dupe a lot of retail players who got in here. Why? Because the cycle is done. What they wanted price to go and meet, let's say this portion here, right? But when we went here, they realized that when we get here now, they want to sell. There's not enough liquidity in the market. There's not enough people in the market. So they bring price down, they mitigate, then they move price up. And when they move it up, their intention is to sell from here all the way down. And when they're doing that, they can either do it like this or they can do it like this. That's if this one hit this point here. Let's just say that this is a supply zone or something, right? If that's the case, this is where we get the efficiency of the pullback. Because when we do this supply becomes very important. It becomes very important because why? The cycle is done internally. And then we've had the main push, and that main push, remember, this is to gas market retail traders, or anyone that trades basically, because we all trade a main push and wait for mitigation to trade the expansion. Everyone does that. But if you want to trade it properly, you trade in cycles. So we have the main push cycle, and then we have the retracement cycle, and then we have the mitigation cycle, and then we have obviously the expansion cycle, which is the end of a cycle. And here is falling in the expansion traders, the mitigation traders, because remember, this move here becomes invalid. So the market is showing you something that it always shows you, and it always comes back and mitigates and goes higher. But now this time it's fooling you because we've tapped into an invalidation, and now you got conviction in a strategy saying, oh sweet, break a structure mitigation, I'm getting in. What happens is price taps there, and then we come down, mitigate the extreme. That's check number one. Then after we mitigate, let's say the extreme, all right, we mitigate the extreme, and then price goes up. It has to, if it does not break this point, this supply here, if it does not break the supply here, extreme, let's just say, oh, wrong one. If it does not break the supply here, and we start doing something like this, what does that tell you? What does that tell you? It means that, you know what, maybe this point here is holding, right? Because it's tapped into a point here. And then this point here, this making this invalid. So now this point here is where people have got in from the wrong bias, and they're looking to go higher. But however, when we got here, remember, we've changed state of delivery in between as well whilst doing that. Change the state of delivery in between, like in between us going from mitigation to where we are right now. Let me just put that as change of start delivery. So this will be, this is the efficiency of the pullback. Yeah, so obviously I'm just showing you as is the last supply, that's why I put extreme. But look, when we do this, tap here and have a change of start delivery. Sometimes we can even have liquidity present, right? And price, I don't know why, man, but I go have it clean. Let's say we've taken liquidity as well and we've done this. Look what look what the market is doing again. Another main push with an invalidation, right? The invalidation is this point here. So if we're coming back to retrace, you should be scared because, right, at this point here, we might even fly through. Sometimes we fly through. Sometimes what we do is we come mitigate again, generate more buyers like here, tapping into this portion here or something, and then we fly down. All because of the efficiency of the pullback, because why? The main push is invalidated. The hand that the market showed was a fake. So a lot of people felt for it, got in, and it didn't reach their TP. But then because it didn't reach their TP and they see the same thing again within this, the internal, the pattern that they're trading, which is the cycle that they're trading, and they see a mini cycle within that and it hasn't been mitigated yet, now they're doubling down. So now they're entering, look, they're entering here with their stop losses here. Then they're also entering here, this portion here, with their stop losses there. And then what does the market do? It violates all of them, because remember, they're trying to replicate this leg to at least break this high, but it doesn't happen. Why? Because the main push was a fake. It's had an invalidation. So now you understand this. Let me show you how this looked like. No, I'll leave it here so we can come back. Let me show you how this happened on German 40 today. Let's go on an M15. In fact, I'll go on a 4 hourly so you see how everything syncs. Look, if I was to just move, yeah, cool. Look, low, right? Breaking this point here, and then we broke this point here. We have a main push, right? Cool. Because we have a main push now, we need to come back and retrace. Okay, cool. We came back, as you see, and then we retraced. This candle here became the decisional. Yeah. When that happened, what do? Expansion, breaking this high. So now the cycle is completed, but a lot of people are seeing it as, oh, we came down, mitigated this point here, we're gonna keep going up. Remember, the cycle is completed. The buyers that bought in here, they created this move to tell people to get in, right? And they got in here. But remember how they got in here, yeah? You see this point here? What did this point do? This point was the point that broke this point here. However, it did not break this point here. That was from this point here. So this becomes an internal range. The sell pressure is so much that this becomes an internal range, right? An internal range supply, bringing price down. And we've come and mitigated that right here, you could say, right? And then now look, if I look on a on a higher time frame, look, the lows of this get taken. Main push. What is this? A retracement we're in. This portion here did not break structure here. Do you get where I come from? It did not break structure here. Look, and then if you look internally, I want to show you, but all the markers will come up. Let me just do this here. So look here, what broke it? It was this portion here. This portion here has already been mitigated, right? Because look, we had low being taken, high mitigation, expanded it. Then look, the cycle was done. So now when we came down, look how we came and took it out. You see what I mean? And then now look, we got another one. So now let's read it coming down now. I forgot what I was showing you here, but this is basically the cycle. This is another main push. Sorry if I'm confusing you. This is another main push. How long is it now? 10 minutes. Alright, cool. This is the main push. So if we have a main push, sorry, why am I saying sorry, bears, bro? What's going on? But yeah, this becomes, oh yeah, because yeah, man, sometimes it bugs you out sometimes, because the main push and the mitigation can be the same thing, because remember, it's the extreme portion that they're buying at. So smart money buys here, they can buy here again. But anyway, it's just a mitigation. But anyway, but mitigation that becomes a main push. So now we are coming for, we can see that we've had the retracement. Well, we're in the retracement phase. Same thing with here, we had a main push, we're in a retracement phase. Same thing here, we had a main push, which is a mitigation of a previous cycle, but we know that we can have a retracement or a reversal here. So price is coming down. So knowing that already, yeah, will let you know that, okay, cool. When we come here now, look, main push from here to here, main push. What broke it? It was these ones here. Okay, cool. Here, this is the day started in London right now today, right? When we opened and we had this, if you read the cycle, look, we've made a main push. So the cycle, that's the main push trade, is done. Now we're waiting for a retracement trade. So now look, we came down, broke this low here, right? Why this low? Because it also has a cycle. Look, low, high. This portion got broken. Look, there's nothing really there. And it broke this portion and broke all of these other ones as well. So it becomes significant to what market wants to do. Do you get where I'm coming from? And then what do? Mitigation, right? Failed to go higher, generate liquidity. We came and broke structure. Then we actually went to the extreme, which led to the break of structure. And then what we came down. But now look, look how that becomes the efficiency of the pullback. Because if I look on a lower time frame, you might think, oh, this is build up liquidity being taken and we're going high. We had a change of stale delivery, and we still haven't tapped into this fair value gap yet. You could be looking at it as, right? But this fair value gap, if I go on an M15, look, is an inverse fair value gap, is a point of interest, is a PD array. So because it's a PD array on a lower time frame, I just leave it out like that and see what reaction we get. Is the cycle completing when we get there, or is the cycle starting a new one? So now let's read that. Look, from here, sweep, candle structure shift, mitigation, expansion, cycle is done. We start a new cycle now. Look, 1, 2, breaking this portion here. When did that happen? London open. So now London open, what do? We come back for the mitigation and then rip. You see how this is the main push? Main push is done. Now we're looking for a retracement, but that retracement can also be a reversal. But now look, this is your confirmation. That change of stale delivery here when London opened after tapping into the efficiency of the pullback. Look, right here, we broke it and then we came and tapped this point here. On the left, on the higher time frame, look what's on the left. Liquidity, equal highs. We broke the same pattern, look. Broke it, went up, mitigated, came down. Same thing. But the efficiency of the pullback is best paired with your time. So now let's say your session open now. What do we see? Session open, London open. We came down, confirmed the direction, came back, mitigated, moved. I'll go in New York. This one here, there was nothing really here because we didn't mitigate nothing and price just ended up moving another day. But now let's see, do we find another one? I want to find another one so I can show you that. Perfect, another one here. Look, main push, wait, from here came down, main push, mitigation, cycle done, right? After cycle is done, be in the red, what do we have? Let's read the internal range. Look, we went from here, breaking some candles, these candles lows, failed to break the high, we came down, cycle is done. See how we consolidate? Cycle is done, we consolidate. Internally inside this consolidation, you have the same pattern going on. But now look, where we first came down and completed that cycle, that becomes the efficiency of the pullback. And you see how price comes back and taps it. Look, this candle. Ideally, you can do candle with a fair value gap, right? Because it's the whole zone. I just refine it to the last candle, so sometimes I don't tap it, but ideally it's the whole. Look, this fair value gap here, this imbalance here, and this imbalance here. It becomes a thing. Do you get where I'm coming from? So obviously we do that, and then ideally I'll just look at it as, I don't look at this too much, I just know that's part of it. But then I can look here, look, this here, what brought price down. After here we haven't mitigated, so I can just do to that candle's open or that candle's low, the wick. And let's see if we tapped it. See how we tap it. Ideally we tap this candle's open, this one here. Ooh, bang on, you see, because unmitigated, the cycle is not completed. So when we tap into it, what do? Break a structure. I think I even took this trade. Yeah, I did. And then look, mitigation, expansion again, cycle is done. Because cycle is done, we have this big move for no reason, because sellers have come out of the market. Well, the smart ones anyway. And then now look, we come back, mitigate, because this becomes another main push. It had liquidity sweep, but it's just that retail going here, so it's likely to fail. So when we come there again, that becomes mitigation. So when we do that, we break, change stale delivery, we do it again, that's the confirmation, showing you, okay, cool, we're actually using this as a main push. And the buyers, sorry, the sellers who sold here are really still here, and they're here. And then look, price just goes melting. But yeah, man, if this is the efficiency of the pullback, just learn it. It's just find this pattern, the retracement portion of it, the last supply that started retracement, or the last demand that started the retracement, is your efficiency of the pullback, and use it with time. When your session opens, how are you reacting there? This one here, look, London open, we've tapped it already and we've come and broken this. Then mitigation, move. Same thing as, look, it's the same thing as today's one. What day was this? Monday or Tuesday? This setup is actually forming a lot more than I thought. But anyway, look, same thing, look, London open, tapped it, mitigation, move. London open, tapped it, mitigation, look, tapped it, broke structure, mitigation, move. It's just simple. That's why I use scenarios, because now when I wake up and I already have my points drawn out on a 15-minute, knowing my efficiency of the pullback and my extreme and my decisional, and I wake up, that's why I can wake up 15 minutes before my session and see, okay, cool, I know where we're going, because we've tapped into it and we're going. It's that simple. So yeah, just use, that's how I use the efficiency of the pullback. I know I probably yapped a lot of gibberish, but pick the truths out of it and go and test it for yourself.